And South Africa dares even issue threats about what is likely to happen after that, and so on and so forth. Of course, we will see what threats they are talking about. I spoke with the president of South Africa, who sought me out to speak with me on this matter because of their involvement in Eastern Congo. And he's also there pretending to be playing a peacemaker role. And he has a force that has been fighting alongside FDLR and has been fighting the M23 on the instructions of Tshisekedi, because these are people who are not supposed to be in Congo, that these are from Rwanda, or the M23 are not Rwandans, please. These are Congolese, and one time he accepts it, then another time he says no, part of it is yes, and then the other part is from Rwanda, and these are the
imperialist forces and the West, because they benefit out of the instability of DRC and Africa in particular. If there is any country that was messed up right from the beginning, was DRC. They've been destabilizing that country for many years because they want those minerals in the DRC. They even created illegal landing strips to land in DRC, to steal directly from DRC and leave. There's nothing revolutionary about M23. Yes, we understand the dynamics of those who are found in that region and the leadership of DRC ill-treating them. But what is important is we cannot allow black-on-black violence. In whose interest is that? Why do you take up arms to kill other fellow Africans? So we should first stabilize DRC and support the SADC initiatives and support the UN intervention, because the stability of DRC means the stability of SADC, and the stability of SADC means the stability of our continent. So we should be concerned that there are problems in the DRC, and before they come to us, they have to be stopped in DRC. You don't wait for them to come to you for you to realize we have a problem. If they can do it in DRC, that will become a practice. And the African agenda is such that we have to go and help the people of DRC. But we must not do that to our own detriment. We have to deploy the best capacity we have. And if we don't have, let's confess we don't have it and withdraw. We may have the interest to defend, but we may not have the capacity. But children are going to die. Somebody's children are going to die, not only these ones. If you had shot 9 American soldiers with that madness which is in the presidents of America now, they would have flattened you the following day. No one would have played jokes. People are playing jokes with the lives of our brothers, and we must not allow that. If they can't give them equipment, let them come back.
The amount of resource we waste killing each other. When you see the devastation caused across this continent by the many unnecessary wars, Sudan, DRC, all across the Sahel, all across the continent, we have actually lost more people to bullets fired by Africans on Africans than we actually lost to the coronavirus. And we have actually spent more buying those bullets to kill ourselves than we have actually spent on protecting our health and our societies. So an end to war and a collaboration towards putting an end to these conflicts and being able to repurpose our resources to where they shall have the greatest impact on our population shall remain the biggest and most critical agenda for the African continent. Let us be ready and let us be prepared. Let us be self-reliant by ensuring that we deal with the challenges that we have in order for us to be able to free resources for where they are most needed.
Now, the wars that we are witnessing in Congo every day have brought many thoughts, and it's getting people angry day by day. There are some reasons, and there can be some reasons. Number one, either Western supremacy or white man supremacy or Western powers are into this fight. And it's either number one, maybe these people, talking of Kagame and Cyril Ramaphosa, the president of South Africa and the president of Congo, it is either these three people are being used to blackmail Africans or to make Africans fools, so that we would think that these are just they are just normal wars, or rather they're just wars. But in real sense, there is something that is being cooked here that Africans don't know. That can be number one. Number two, these people, maybe they are fighting themselves because they all of them want to be dictators. You want to be dictator or to dictate Africa or to become a strongest president in Africa. Because if M23 is in real being funded by Rwanda, as people as it's being alleged, then why should Rwanda do that? It is very bad. So if Rwanda is doing that, then it means Kagame is a dictator and he is maybe trying to become a president or a kind of a leader who is a dictator in Africa, and to show Africa that is more powerful. Or number three, greedy and corruption. These things can be possible, both of them. It is very simple. Stop fighting Africans. Stop fighting a brother. Stop fighting a sister. Your African brother, your African sister, stop fighting them. Stop fighting amongst yourselves. If I can go on and start fighting my brother, someone from outside who is our enemy gets happy. Now, the Western countries, talk of France, talk of the United States, and many other countries, they are now feeling happy because Africans are fighting. If indeed this war is truly amongst Africans, they are now happy maybe that Africans are fighting. Because if they are indeed our enemies and we are fighting amongst ourselves, we are weakening ourselves, which means it's going to be very easy for them to come and intrude and take over us without even ourselves knowing. Because they will come in form of help, in the name of their coming to help us, to stop fightings and to stop the wars. Okay? But again, the reason as to why I'm saying this war can be a mind game, or maybe people trying to play with the minds of Africans. Up to this moment, I've not seen a single country from the West coming and saying we want to bring peace in Africa, or rather, because that is what they do always. A small war, a little misunderstanding, those countries come with hurry to come and say, now we want to bring to cool down the problem that is in Africa. We want to give you people, to help you people, you see. But up to this moment, I haven't seen even a single country that has spoken about the issues of Congo wars, the Western countries. Which means it can be something they are making themselves. They are cooking something. And we Africans, we don't know. So we keep on saying Congo is fighting. Because you listened to PLO Lumumba. PLO Lumumba said the war that started in Congo, it started a long time ago. Okay? Other people are saying that the war that is in Congo is amongst Congolese themselves. And there are many tribes in Congo that they want to sit on the throne. So they are fighting amongst themselves. But my question is, if you can be able to fight your fellow African, we are struggling to become one big independent nation as an African state. The United States of Africa. How can we become the United States of Africa if we are fighting amongst ourselves? Will we be able to unite ourselves if we can be fighting in our own countries? We are fighting our own brothers and sisters. It is simple. Look at what Traore says. It is simple. Follow what Traore says. Africans come together, unite. The issues of brother fighting a brother should stop. The issues of Africans serving the masters, serving white men, calling them your masters. You want to make the masters feel happy while you're leaving your African brothers here at home suffering. It should stop. Even those leaders who are engaging with the white man supremacy, with the Western governments, you should stop, because your work is to serve the master. But what about the people who are in your country? What about your black brothers you're leaving behind? What about your black sisters you're leaving behind? It is something that is very bad. It is something that needs to be checked. Needs to be checked. We need to make an improvement. We need to make amendments. We need to pull up our socks. It is simple. Kagame was very angry today. He spoke about something and he was very angry, saying he is not the person who is funding M23, that he is not the person. He is not the one. Okay? But other African leaders are now trying to intrude into this matter and trying to I don't know what is happening. Africans, can we style up? Can we have mind, Africans? Can we think? Can we start thinking? Can we start thinking? Let us not be seen like fools, because we are getting to a point, African leaders, we are getting to a point where we are being seen like fools. And African people who are fighting African brothers, you are making a very big mistake. We are trying to bring ourselves back together, to gather up ourselves back together. Everything that was lost, we're trying to bring it together, to collect the messes and clean up the messes, the mistakes that we did. That means we need to come together, unite, and build one strong thing that the enemy will see and be surprised, not fighting amongst ourselves. It's good if whatever Paul Kagame said it's true. Let's listen to Paul Kagame, but we should stop it. We're not supposed to be doing that. It is simple. Stop fighting amongst yourselves. Stop fighting amongst yourselves. It's not right. It's not right. We should be holding our hands together, joining hands together as one. Come together as one. You see what is happening in Sahel? Sahel, in Burkina Faso and Niger and Mali, they are neighbors. Okay? Do you see them fighting? They don't fight. In fact, instead of fighting, they have come together. They've joined their militaries. They are opening boundaries in their countries. They are becoming a state. Yeah? They are becoming a state, the Sahel state. Okay? They're working together, bringing their minds up together to try and see how they can make their countries great. Now they are doing a great things. Those three countries have developed in a very greater way, in a big way, in a huge way, within a very short time. And we in our countries, we are fighting. Instead of fighting, we should be coming together, asking Congo, how can you help us? Because we have minerals. Asking Kenya, how can you help us? Asking South Africa, you have this and this. How can you help us? How can we help you? That is how we're supposed to be living. Oh no, that's not it. That's not it. Let's listen to Paul Kagame.
Thank you, Chairman of Community. I want to associate myself with what has been said, especially what our sister President Samia Suluhu has just mentioned. But before that, let me raise a couple of questions maybe to guide us. I don't know if that is possible. One, is there anybody among us who did not see this coming? I for one, I saw it coming, to be where we are now. I saw it coming because I did not see who was taking charge of the process, who was listening, who was trying to provide any kind of guidance as to what we should be doing from one thing or one day to another. And by this, I want to also ask, as the East African community, what did we want from the beginning? Or what did we do about that? What are we doing now? And what do we want to do for where we want to go? Because exactly like President Sami has mentioned, if it is talking about problems and defining them, and I think we have been very eloquent. We have talked about all kinds of things. But when do we match what we are saying and what we are doing so that we get to what we want? When do we come to that? I haven't seen it. President, I asked last time in our meeting, the last summit, where is East African community, or does it exist? And exist for what? By the way, even now the person or the country we are talking about is not represented as we are discussing. And it is supposed to be, the country is supposed to be part of East Africa, but nowhere to be represented. So I'm not sure what bearing what we are discussing has on what happens in the process of finding a solution in this country. I'll move on. The conflict that was created from the time we had the East African community get involved in trying to help in Congo, and later on when the East African force was trying its best and we are seeing progress, Tshisekedi decided they are not doing what he wanted and went to SADC. SADC agreed they would come and do what he wanted and sent everybody else packing. And that we complied and kept quiet. What really did we expect to come out of this? Now, worse still, I think even in East Africa itself, ourselves, maybe we have different understanding of what the problem is, and we have never come together to agree or even disagree and find a way to come together finally to do what we ought to do to deal with this problem. Or we simply decided, each country, to move on its own with a different agenda arising out of involvement or whatever in Congo, and that was enough. If your interests were catered for by Tshisekedi, that was fine. Even if the others' interests or concerns were not taken care of. You can imagine, therefore, what chaos comes out of that kind of situation. We are, on one hand, assuming or pretending we are coming together over an issue and trying to find a solution, while at the same time, each country is pulling in its own direction, different from the others. This is the fact of the matter. Now, but even if we were doing everything right, all of us, nothing is going to come out of it until those mainly concerned are also part of it and participating and contributing to the success of the process through which they are getting the support. But if the parties decide or accept to be manipulated, because, and by the way, that's exactly what happened, and I think in Congo, there are experts for doing that. They would go to one party and promise them something, and then they would decide to keep quiet about what is obviously going to result into problems like we are seeing now. Or, like he did, he didn't want East African community because they were not doing things the way he wanted, even if it was not right. He got rid of them and he decided to bring in SADC. SADC was, without any question, coming to assist Tshisekedi to fight alongside FDLR, these murderers of our people here in this country, to fight against mercenaries, and to have Burundi on ethnic political basis decide to support Tshisekedi in whatever endeavor, including exactly doing what those murderers did to our people and what they are doing in Eastern Congo. They have displaced people, they have killed people, they have persecuted them on a daily basis for who they are. We have refugees here who have been here for the last 20 plus years, just dislocated from Congo and sent to Rwanda because they say these are ethnic Tutsis, therefore they belong to Rwanda, they don't belong there. And everybody is around. I don't know how many entities we have in Congo, honestly. We have MONUSC, we have SAMI DRC, we have mercenaries, we have Burundi, we have FDLR that has joined them. And everybody is there watching this thing, and we pretend it's like we don't understand what has been going on for all these years. And then when things like this of last week erupted, we behave like we are surprised or we are concerned about humanitarian crisis, about this and that. Isn't persecuting and killing people and displacing them part of that humanitarian concern? So, as East Africans, we sit here and then do what about it? For the last 2 days, on Monday and today this morning, I spoke with the President of South Africa, who sought me out to speak with me on this matter because of their involvement in Eastern Congo. And he's also there pretending to be playing a peacemaker role. And he has a force that has been fighting alongside FDLR and has been fighting the M23 on the instructions of Tshisekedi, because these are people who are not supposed to be in Congo, that these are from Rwanda, or the M23 are not Rwandans, please. These are Congolese, and one time he accepts it, then another time he says, no, part of it is yes, and then the other part is from Rwanda, and these are He keeps on going. And how do we, leaders of our own countries, accept this to go on forever and just accept that we shall be manipulated by Tshisekedi or whoever is supporting him? And South Africa dares even issue threats about what is likely to happen after that, and so on and so forth. Of course, we will see what threats they are talking about. Maybe they should have done that exactly for which they have been issuing threats. They should have done it to clean up the mess in Eastern Congo, or to fight back those who have been trying to clean up the mess. So then you have the whole international community just confused. They talked about Rwanda, they talked about the Nairobi process. Honestly, even here, maybe you will help me understand what all this means. The processes became an end in themselves. And the people leading these processes became more important than the results of the processes. The Nairobi process became a Uhuru process. Then the Rwanda process, it's like you can't say anything that will displease President Lorenzo. Definitely, this does not help deal with such a serious matters as we are faced with today. That in the end, just because they can't be addressed, we have such a situation that, like we have now. And if anybody, and above all, I don't understand how Tshisekedi keeps thinking that he will resolve the problems to do with rights of people militarily. Kill them, shoot them, bring in forces that are ready to help, like especially Burundi. Well, I don't know whether that has been helpful for the last few days or weeks. They have been doing that. So I want us to, Chairman, Your Excellencies, I want us, whatever we are saying and whatever we intend to do, we capture the context rightly and then proceed based on that, and maybe we can get somewhere. But otherwise, if we keep saying good things, saying that, and to each other being nice, and then each one fulfilling their own interests other than others' interests, the common interests we have as East Africans, then I don't see how we are going to contribute effectively to finding a solution. But really, to have even had East African community expelled from Eastern Congo and everybody complied, and then there was quiet. It's as if it was normal or that is okay. Everything dictated by the country or the person we are trying to help. I didn't understand that. And that's where we are now. That's how we are here where we are. So let me maybe for now stop here. I would really want to hear advice of others, but I think it's not just a plaything. It's not. It's a serious matter, evidently, because it consumes people's lives. And the other day, 2-3 days ago, we lost people. There was a lot of shelling from Eastern Congo, from Goma, and killed a dozen people and injured hundreds. We will definitely take care of that. There's no question about it. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.